Hello there, this is Craig. This is a new mindfulness video on open heart intentions. So welcome, nice to have you with me. Mindfulness, as a recap, is about being present with your body in the moment. So it's what's called, I've called it on this video, open heart presence. And you can see on the picture here that we tend to act either from our heart or our head. Mindfulness is a heart practice. Sometimes it can be called heartfulness. So mindfulness is taking each moment as it arrives, noticing it with your awareness, and trying not to judge what's happening to you. And it is practice. And every time we sit and meditate, we're practicing mindfulness. We're just sitting. We're just allowing things to arrive in the moment. We observe them and we let them go. This is a really wonderful practice. Some people sort of say it's doing nothing, but you are doing a lot when you do nothing. You could be sitting there and you could be noticing your emotions, for example. You may notice there's anxiety in you, or there's fear in you, or worry, or doubt, or insecurity. And with mindfulness and non-judgment, we accept that we have these feelings, and in these moments, this is how we feel. So rather than going into our head and challenging these things like, why am I anxious? I wish I wasn't anxious. We're not doing that. We're not thinking about our emotions. We're being with them, and we're sending ourselves kindness at the same time using our heart. Our heart is very unconditional, and this is what an open heart intention is. It's unconditional. So you can think of an intention as something that motivates you to do something. So we might have an intention to eat because we're feeling hungry. We might have an intention to help somebody because we're seeing that they're struggling. We may want to ring a friend or check in on somebody to see how they're doing. That's an open heart intention. Most of the time when we're doing those things, we're kind of in a presence of mindfulness where we're trying to be kind to other people. We're trying to be a bit more selfless. So the practice of mindfulness actually increases our ability to be kind and compassionate to others. So when we're sitting meditating, we're just there with our presence. We're just allowing things to come and go, come and go. You know, anxiety is here. I'm breathing with it. I see it's there. It's now easing. Oh, now I'm getting thoughts about tomorrow. Right, well, off you go. Thought, I've noticed you. I'm just sitting. I feel the cushion under me. I'm breathing. I feel my in-breath and my out-breath. This is what open heart presence is. You're not conditional or judging anything that happens to you, because as soon as you judge something, there's a condition, and there's something that we don't like. And this can be classed, as I have done in the diagram here. If you look at the right hand side, it says mindfulness, open heart presence, awareness, non-judgment. And this leads into this thing called no expectations. We're not thinking about the future. We're not thinking about an outcome. We're just sitting and being and allowing things to come. So we're just in the flow of the universe. You know, everything changes and we're there and we're experiencing life, and that's all well and good. When we get expectations, we start to tarnish our presence, you know, our mindfulness. So, as an example, if you're go to meditate and you have an idea, you have an expectation that that's going to make you relax or calm or give you more inner peace or happiness, you find sometimes that that inhibits your mindfulness and actually inhibits what you actually want. So if you sit there and you're meditating, but you're thinking about inner peace and happiness, you're there going, inner peace, yes, sitting, I want inner peace. And you find it doesn't come because we're thinking too much about it. We're not experiencing what is happening for us. We might notice frustration coming in when we're meditating. We're like, I don't want frustration. I want inner peace. I want happiness. So there's an expectation has been born and a discrimination between frustration and happiness. Whereas in the realm of the universe, nothing is good or bad. Frustration is not bad. It's not worse than happiness. And happiness is not good. These are just feelings that we have, feelings that come in from time to time. The trick with mindfulness and open heart intentions is to allow everything to come, and you don't have any expectations of the future. You're not thinking too hard. You're just like, oh yes, frustration, you're here. I can see you. Breathing in, breathing out. That's calming my frustration. You don't have an expectation that it's going to calm, but it does anyway, just because the universe knows what to do. So you could say that if you're living in a more mindful way, you become more trusting, more accepting of life, and actually more selfless. You're not up here in your head going, I want this, I wish for that. If only this would change, I would be happier. That's expectations. What I'm trying to say here is let go of your expectations, be where you are, accept where you are, and try and do your best. In every situation that comes, we always have a choice of how we respond. If someone's shouting at us, we have a choice. If we're mindful, we might decide not to shout back or not to defend our position, because again, this is head thinking. We're in our heart. So we can see that the other person is struggling. They're shouting, they're behaving in a perhaps an irrational manner because they're in their head struggling with something. So instead of getting annoyed at that person, which would be a head ego place, we accept that they're shouting. We're trying not to take it personally. And we offer our presence, our open heart to these people. And if we can do that, we find that that actually can protect us from the barrage that we get. But it's also a way of cultivating compassion for others. So with this sheet, I'm just going to scroll down a bit. You look at the heart there. There's arrows that are going into the heart. So what I'm saying here is if we're trusting and accepting life, and if someone comes and starts getting annoyed at us and we accept it, we can act on a love-based emotion, on an unconditional friendliness, if you like, if we're acting from our heart. This is what open heart intentions is. So you're motivated by things like kindness, compassion, joy, happiness. You're giving yourself over to helping the other person. It's a selfless act. You're not going into your head going, oh, hang on a minute, I wish you would stop speaking to me like this. I don't want you to be here talking to me like this. This is an outrage. You're not defending you because that's ego. That's the head. That's this discrimination again. This is separation. We are all one. When we say I, me, and my, we're separating ourselves from the field, and that can give us a lot of suffering and struggle in ourselves. So, and it rarely works out when you're in attack and defense mode when you're talking to somebody. So if you can act from a place of love, a place of kindness, compassion, then you're using your heart. So if someone is annoyed or angry, they actually need our compassion, they need our help. They're saying to you that they're angry and they want you to know that they're angry. It's actually a cry for help. So can we do that? Can we offer our presence and our kindness? We might not be able to fix their issue, but we're not adding to their woe, and we're not adding to our woe either. There may be ways that our calm presence will kind of infiltrate their feelings and make them soften, make them calm, because you're not shouting back at them. So that's just one example. We practice heart intentions when we're grateful for things, when we're generous to people, when we compliment people, when we help people, and we're acting out of kindness and compassion. We can also do this for ourselves. It does say self-healing here on the sheet. Sometimes we think that looking after ourselves is an ego trait because it's like it's me. I'm talking about me, and I've been saying to you all along that I, me, and my is not good for your health. But actually, if you're noticing without the I, you're just noticing body is tired, or body is grouchy, or emotions are running high in here, in this form called Craig or Karen or whoever, then you can catch that and you can think, right, this needs healing. I need to rest because I'm not going to be kind or compassionate to anybody while I'm huffy puffy myself, or I'm frustrated myself, or I'm feeling tired myself. I need to address my needs. And sometimes resting and doing nothing is one of the most blissful and best ways you can do to help yourself. Practicing mindfulness, meditating, sitting, letting the world go by. There's no need to do all the time. Have moments of being in between your doing, and it will create space for you and for your thoughts and will help you heal. So that's a heart-led intention as well, self-compassion for you. So the kind of opposite of having heart intentions, going out in the world and you're just doing things out of kindness and compassion and joy. Cultivate your joy. Whatever it is that gives you joy, please do. Increase your vibration, increase your frequency. That will help you in your life. You will attract like things to you. You'll attract joyful things to you. If you are moody and miserable and all the rest of it, then you'll attract that to you as well, and your life won't get any better or whatever. Even though we're not having an expectation to get our life better, we're just trying to act out from a place of kindness every moment, and things will change around you anyway. So the opposite to heart is head, is thinking about me, self. And so on the left hand side of this sheet, it might be a bit tricky to see on this video, but it says non-presence expectations with an arrow going up the way towards our head. So non-presence is when you're not mindful, you're not present, you're thinking about the future or the past. So you could be worrying about tomorrow, or you could be getting upset over what's happened to you or happening in the world or happening to whatever. You're judging something. You're not present with your body. You're not in the moment. You're on a storyline in your head. I don't like this. If only this was different. I'm fed up with this. I can't believe what I'm seeing on the news. This person sucks. These are all judgments. We have expectations because we want people to say things in a different way. We want to live our life in a different way. We want to feel happier. We want to get rid of sort of angry emotions or frustrated emotions. So you could say we're trying to force issues. And there's a bubble here that says forcing issues. We're not trusting the future. We're trying to hone it and manipulate it. But often that manipulation or that coercion can give us more problems. We're kind of forcing it too much. We're not going with the flow of life. We're resisting things and trying to mold it to our will. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you can get success, but often the feelings and the unhappiness lingers. You might earn lots of money, but are you truly happy? Are you in a place of peace? Are you in a place of kindness for yourself and compassion for yourself? So this is what I'm kind of talking about. And if I just scroll up here back to the head, you can see from the picture that often when we're in our heads and we're thinking about the future and the past, we're motivated, what we do is motivated based on fear emotions. So things like anger, frustration, jealousy, guilt, shame, worry, they're the ones I've put on the sheet. It's not a full list. So if you're motivated to do something and you're feeling something like frustration, what you end up doing carries that frustration with you. You haven't been with your frustration with your kind heart and transformed it into something else. Anger, you can transform your anger into something else, something useful. It might give you strength, it might give you determination, it might give you a different way to do things or interact. But you can't do it when you're angry. You're just carrying that anger along. So notice when you feel righteous in your anger, or you feel that I am right and you are wrong, so I'm doing it this way. Any separateness like that, you're carrying on that feeling of unhappiness, of non-inner peace. And you're doing it because you're trying to keep yourself safe. This is all a fear stress response. And we do it all the time to look after ourselves. But when we're thinking about ourselves too much, we forget about other people, we forget about kindness and compassion, and we find actually we can get ourselves into a right mess. The more we're in the future and the past, the less we're tuning into our bodies, the more likely we are to get stressed and have illness, etc. When you're present, when you're practicing mindfulness, you feel healthier, happier. You're just trusting things to flow as they do, and no matter what comes, we can deal with it in an open-hearted way. So that's really what I just wanted to talk about in this video. It's slightly shorter than I normally do, but I'm hoping to do more of these kind of shorter videos so that they don't take too much time in your day and give you a few ideas about how mindfulness can help. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely day.